Bickering, backstabbing, and berating. These are three Bs, and they're all around us these days, and maybe nowhere more than in Washington, D.C. We send people to the Capitol to put their differences aside for the good of the country, but it appears not to be working. A recent study by the University of Winnipeg in Canada, where I'm from, analyzed the tweets of every member of the House and Senate between 2009 and 2019. And the researchers gave each of the tweets a score based on how rude and disrespectful it was. And it turns out the tweets were 23% more disrespectful in 2019 than they were 10 years earlier in 2009. Again, these are our lawmakers, the people who are supposed to be modeling behavior. And it looks like their bad behavior might be trickling down to the rest of us. I think about the customer who screams at the store employee because the line's too long, or all those social media trolls constantly posting awful comments. And how about teenagers these days freely dropping F-bombs right in front of their teachers, and sometimes not even the teenagers, the little ones? The world certainly does seem a lot more disrespectful, and the numbers do back it up. Another study by Georgetown University found that 98% of workers have been the victims of uncivil or rude behavior. And that stat, 98%, is up from just 50% in 2011 and 25% back in 1998. 73% of workers said it is not unusual for customers to treat them badly, and that's up from 61% in 2012. So what on earth is causing all of this? And more importantly, how do we make America nice again? I'm joined by Christine Porath. She's a professor of management at Georgetown University, and she's the person behind the Georgetown study. So I'll just thank you right off the bat for being here. It's a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully that's a nice way to start this conversation. But Christine, is this really like an exponential decline, or is this just sort of a continuum? Like we've just gotten worse since the 1700s? Like how bad is it?
Well, we've certainly gotten a lot worse. I think over the last few years, all the stress and negativity surrounding us has made things quite a bit worse. But we've been on a decline, as you mentioned, for about the last couple decades. So it's not a shock given how much people have been suffering and how stressed out people have been.
All right. So what I found fascinating is that you actually have a civility quiz on your website. It's ChristinePorath.com, by the way, Porath. And the things that you ask are really interesting. These are some of the scenarios. So grab a pencil, folks, and take a note. If you neglect to say please and thank you, if you use email when face-to-face is needed, if you take too much credit for group work, if you keep people waiting needlessly, if you don't listen and you interrupt others, if you speak unkindly or spread rumors, or if you insult others. Every one of those looks kind of normal. I hate to say it. Am I off the mark?
No, I think that's the idea is how consistently are you doing these things and how mindful can you be in terms of improving things. So ideally you hone in on one or two things and you look to improve things along the way. So it's just kind of a checkpoint, but in reality, I'd love people to be checking with others because most of this stems not from bad people or even bad intentions. We lack self-awareness. We don't realize simple things that we may be doing that may rub people the wrong way.
And I noticed that, some of the folks who weigh in on this say that stress is through the roof for a lot of people. Social media certainly has not helped in that. I'd say that's one of the leading drivers. The politicians have been awful. Some of these tweets. We use foul language now like it's pretty standard. Parenting has changed a lot, too. So this isn't just a problem to talk about on TV. This is actually something that affects the bottom line for businesses, too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So what we find is that it takes people totally off track when we take this in, whether that's through email or through even witnessing it. People have a really hard time focusing. It hijacks focus, it hijacks attention. People perform about 30% worse cognitively. Working memory operates a lot slower, a lot more errors. Creativity declines. People are 3 times less helpful to others, even when they just witness it. So, if you're around it, you're much more likely to quit as a result. So the Great Resignation, a lot of the data behind that is actually number one driver is toxic leaders.
You know, it's astounding to see those statistics. Those are bottom line things for even small businesses to really take a look at. You know, 80% missing work because they're thinking about the rudeness, et cetera. It's amazing. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.